Serbia has quite big mission tree, unique government reform and gold mine right at the start, but also its neighboring not one major power, but 3 of them. In this video I will show you how to play as Serbia. As usual, let's start with priorities. Seize land, grant religious diplomats, and burger loans. Now right click on Hungary, make sure it doesn't rival you. Well, in 80% of cases it won't, but sometimes it may, so make sure it doesn't. And scornful insult of one of its rivals, preferably Ottomans, but you also may insult Venice. But never scornfully insult neither Poland nor any other Hungarian rival. You might want them as your allies. Anyway, now you want to check your diplomatic advisors. We have diplomatic reputation 1, and it's very important. If you didn't have the diplomatic reputation advisor, you would need to improve relations, not even wait, just improve relations. But if you do have one, you can royal marriage right away. That's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to boost Spanish from Bosnia and improve relations with Austria, and leave one diplomat to ally Hungary. As your rivals, choose Albania and Bosnia. Also start building free company. Okay, we can't ally Hungary for some reason, but usually we are able to. Not a big deal, one improve relations and we would be able to. Just royal marriage in most cases should be enough. Okay, this was an anomaly. Usually after you royal marry Hungary, you'll be able to ally it. Well, not even usually, almost always. Anyway, after you ally Hungary and improve relations to 100, finish 3 missions. Now fabricate claim on Bosnia, start improving relations with Poland, and declare on Bosnia. Fair warning, most likely Hungary will break your alliance after you conquer it. Anyway, sometimes it allies Sicily, sometimes Wallachia, sometimes maybe someone else, like Bohemia or Austria. In most cases it will ally Sicily, in most cases. If it allies someone strong, you might want to either restart or maybe call in Hungary to your help. Make your heir a general, and start conquering. I would recommend to occupy all of Bosnia ASAP, before Hungary declares war on it. Let's stack up this stack, and quickly occupy. And start building Spanish on Herzegovina. Peace out, take money, and most likely right now Hungary will break your alliance. And also, when you have 3 diplomatic points, click on the state, encourage development, here it is, and develop Kosovo. Develop it as much as possible. Also, if you're willing to save scum if your ruler dies, you might want to disinherit your heir and wait for a better one. You can even do this before war with Bosnia, just grant patronage of the arts. The problem is your ruler is quite old, so he can die before you get a new heir, so be careful. Okay, Herzegovina got into war, let's wait for our spy network and we can declare. Well, like I said, Hungary will break your alliance after you conquer Bosnia. Okay, we've got conquest. Now let's wait until Wallachia won't support Bosnia. Okay, here it is, Wallachia won't join. Herzegovina most likely won't get any good alliances. And Albania here, well, is actually more of an exception. Most likely it won't ally Albania. It is quite difficult to fight Albania, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hire company with good general and try to hire military advisor with morale or discipline. Well, I don't have one. The problem with Albania is that it has very good general, so you need to be extremely careful with it. I somehow won a battle, but not a war. Just look at Skanderberg. That's why it is extremely difficult to win against him. Now I'm going to try to stack wipe their army. We need to kill them while they are not united. Okay, Albania now doesn't have an army, let's siege them down. Well, you might think that we are lucky that Albania allied Herzegovina, because Albania is granted by Venice, but believe me, it's better to declare on Albania later, with some allies. Most likely Herzegovina will declare on Bosnia sooner or later. So what I've done is I've put 1000 of my troops here, to its capital, only 1000 just so I have enough of troops to siege both Albania and my fort. Yes, here it is, Ragusa is helping me. And yes, by the way, don't forget that Albania has new government reform in 1.35. This government reform makes sieging Albanian forts just painful. Anyway, Bosnia surrendered, let's just vassalize it. So, why vassalize it? Most likely, it's not guaranteed, but I've noticed that Ragusa declares on Herzegovina when it's weakened, when you're winning the war. Ragusa is guaranteed by Ottomans at the start, so unless you wait or beat up Ottomans, there is no chance you'll be able to conquer it. So the trick here was that Ragusa declared on Herzegovina an offensive war. That means it didn't call in its allies. Most importantly, it didn't call in Ottomans, and that means we can easily conquer it. Otherwise, it would be impossible. It's always guaranteed by Ottomans at the start. Also, by the way, most likely Ottomans won't conquer Albania, but that might happen. Most likely it happened just because we killed its army. If not for this, Albania would stand strong. Don't forget to develop Kosovo gold mine at least to 10 production. You can do it even more if you want to. You need this income from gold. Well, it did call in Papal State, but in this case it won't help it. I will just need to wait for a little bit more. Don't forget to convert new provinces. Okay, here it is, Ragusa capitulates. In most cases the strategy will work, in most cases. If it has strong allies like Venice, for example, you might not want to do it, of course, but most likely it won't. Now we need to find some alliances ASAP. Well, I already see that we can try to ally Poland, but for this we first need a little bit more relations. And maybe let's have one more company, someone small. Yes, as you can see, we can already almost ally Poland, almost. If we had enough of prestige, I would scornfully insult someone and ally Poland. But we can ally Aragon, let's do it. You need some allies to at least protect from Hungary and the Ottomans. Okay, here it is, we can ally Poland finally, let's do it. Didn't even need to scornfully insult anyone. And let's start carrying favors. By the way, I forgot to mention, there is quite a big chance Ottomans will warn you. Let's check them out, by the way. Yes, they did warn me. And we almost can ally Austria. So you might suspect that that's RNG and I'm just lucky that I can ally this many nations. But believe me, you would be able to ally them anyway at this stage. Try to ally Ottoman's rivals, or Hungarian rivals, also possible. Sooner or later they will agree, just keep an eye on them. At least Austria and Poland 100% will. Royal marry and ally Austria, and yes, you guessed it right, your only chance against Ottomans is by allying some majors, some great powers. Well, you can try to beat them alone, but you're not Albania, most likely you won't win. Also, after you get 40 crown land, you can do this either by seizing land or developing Kosovo, and conquering of course. You can finish this mission and get some claims on Macedonia and Albania. Now, after you have 40 crown land, you can grant many privileges. And let's seize land. And yes, carry favors with your new allies. I chose Noble Officer Corps, but you can choose whatever you like. Maybe if you need manpower, choose Strength and Noble Privileges, or compromise with nobility. Okay, we already have 10 favors with Poland, but I will wait a little bit more so we also can call in Aragon. Okay, we have 10 favors with Poland and with Aragon. Of course, Ottomans are quite strong, but you still can win through the sheer power of cannon fodder. Albania still should be alive and well, but not in this case. Anyway, not a big deal. Just siege Ottomans down, and hope that Poland will distract them. Also try not to develop Kosovo with military mana. You need to have good technology. I will support my Polish friends, just so Ottomans don't kill their stacks. Oh no, no need by the way. They already siege Constantinople. Let's fight with Kazikmuk, maybe demand war operations. And by the way, in this war it's better to demand war operations instead of taking money directly. Just look at this. We demand 70 targets, but we will only get 14. That's because we called in a lot of allies. It gets shared. Also, at least right now I don't really have any issue with Ottomans. They didn't get their army here to Balkans. But if they do and you see that most likely you won't be able to win, maybe Poland is somewhere here. Oh, hello Ottomans. Anyway, maybe Poland is not helping you, maybe it's somewhere here, sieging down some useless forts, like this for example. And you're afraid that Ottomans will quickly occupy their provinces once again, peace out immediately. Well, it's not necessary of course, but it's better to conquer some provinces than no provinces. But usually it shouldn't be a problem if you call in everyone. Even if you call in just Poland, it should be easy. Okay, let's peace out Ottomans. So it was surprisingly easy, didn't even have to do anything. Poland and Aragon dealt with Ottomans without my help, just a few words. So, you might want to release Byzantium, and if you want to release Byzantium, obviously it's not the best idea to conquer its cores directly, at least not a lot of them. But, of course, be warned that Byzantium is actually quite big, and because it's quite big, it might be difficult to keep it loyal, especially if you also want to release Bulgaria. So at least right now I won't. Try to first take Ragusa trade node lands, some trade centers, and war operations, and of course conquer your two cores. So I did conquer Albania, but most likely you won't be able to. Most likely you will need to declare on Venice for this. Do not worry, you can always try to find some allies against Venice, or wait for a good opportunity. Instead you might want to just conquer more Greece. Anyway, let's finish two missions, retake Macedonia, and pacify the Albanian lands. I think we can release Bulgaria, reconquer its lands. Let's grant one more privilege, strong duchies. It's also not really necessary to release Bulgaria, but it's not really a bad idea either. Oh, and also forgot to warn you, try not to take land near Poland or near Moldavia. Most likely they won't break alliance with you, but they can. It's better not to risk it. Anyway, right now we have two choices, either declare on Venice or on Hungary. I think for now let's just wait, we'll see later. Also, by the way, note that I have like 3 mercenary companies and I'm still in profit. That's the power of gold mine. A brand wedding happened. That means that Aragon stopped being our ally. Also, don't forget to hire some advisors. Advisors are quite important. So, in theory we could try to declare on Venice or wait until our truce with Ottomans ends. When does it end? In 9 years. But I see that Hungary is quite backwards, and we can call in Poland and easily win. We have quite big advantage. Always choose the best possible opportunity to declare. Just understand it's quite RNG, sometimes it's better to first declare on Venice, sometimes it's better to wait for Ottomans, but I assure you, you would need to declare on Hungary anyway, and it may be a better idea to do it before Austria abuse it. Just rely on your allies and everything will be good. Bohemia declared on Hungary, and it occupied one province that I wanted. Well, we can wait for a little bit more. Well, okay, unfortunate, but I thought Bohemia will give up this province. Basically just want to conquer all of Hungarian Balkans. What you also want to do is take war reparations, transfer trade power, and as much money as you can get. Well, unfortunate that I couldn't conquer this province, but not big deal, we can conquer it later. Okay, not always it will work, but it might. So I said to transfer trade power because of this mission. Most likely you will already have the biggest trade power in Ragusa, but past is a lot more difficult. So of course Poland has a lot of trade power here, but I asked Hungary to transfer trade power, I also asked Wallachia to transfer trade power, I also granted allow burghers economic freedom, and put merchant here on transfer, not on collect. And I also built a marketplace here. Not sure if it did anything, but well. So now we have the most trade power in past, and we can finish this mission. You can finish this mission just by conquering Hungary, but well, it's up to you. Let's also start annexing Herzegovina. Before you annex it, grant nobility integration policy. If you're willing to use vessels, a state reform takes representatives with the crown. If you're not planning to play with vessels, take one of these three reforms. As your first icon, you can either take this one if you don't have a lot of money and want to invest in Renaissance. You can also take Christ Pantocrator if you want to build something, or maybe St. Nicholas, one of the best here just for quicker expansion. Although it's not really necessary right now, but it will be when we declare on Venice. We can finish this mission and get plus missionary strength. After you commission an icon, you would be able to finish this mission and get plus 2 missionary strength to convert faster. Also, just heads up, you can also declare on Naples, which is the first war with Ottomans. It's not really necessary, but if you want to, you can. You will get a lot of good land here. And if you don't, most likely Castile will try to pay you it. As your first idea group, you might want to take religious, but if you're not willing to take admin idea group as first one, take either diplomatic or influence, depending on whether you will play with a lot of vessels or not. There are a lot of good vessels in Middle East and Balkans, so don't forget about influence. Well, I will take religious because I think the earlier you get those wood, the better. Plus you would need to convert a lot of provinces. Let's fabricate and declare on Croatia. Bohemia did release it. Okay, that's good sign, we can declare once again. First war wasn't difficult, second one will be even easier. Let's declare the conquest and call in everyone, except Wallachia. I won't even have to do anything, my allies will deal with it. Although I might want to try to occupy provinces near Poland. Serbia became a great power, quite cool. Okay, Constantinople is sieged, now I think my allies can deal with Ottomans without my help. That's South Saxony, just like peace, and Croatia. Also, by the way, I got some stability through event, so we can move our capital to Belgrade. Not bad idea considering that Belgrade has already a second level fort. Also, I'm losing a little bit of money, so I'm going to delete some forts. 2 of them to be precise. And I will transfer Constantinople to my vassal Bulgaria, so it pays for its maintenance. Okay, let's fight peace Ajam, our allies helped us, and let's fight peace Akoyuno. In the second war, I recommend to take all Ragusa provinces, that you can take of course, and conquer some Bulgarian provinces. Maybe Constantinople if you haven't released Bulgaria. But if you conquer Bulgarian provinces, of course fair warning, Poland may break your lines. Same as Hungary. It may not, it's quite random. If it does, it would be quite bad. Anyway, now we need to start annexing Bulgaria and enable the war trade. You gave it a lot of provinces, so for a while it won't be unloyal. Okay, so now I'm going to core new provinces, and now we have only 2 targets available, Venice and Ottomans. And Naples somehow became PO of France, but if not this, we could also conquer Naples. Start annexing Bulgaria as soon as possible. Same with Byzantium if you have listed. Okay, core new provinces, and now let's think about Venice. If neither of your allies is willing to help you, you might want to try this. Reduce opinion of Venice, and this bonus attitude towards enemies might go away. Not always of course, but it might. Okay, it seems Poland will be useless, but we can try to sway Austria to help. We can also try to ally Venetian rivals, like Milan for example. As second idea group, take either influence or diplomatic. Let's also ally the Papal State, maybe it will help. So if you recall, I don't know why, but Austria decided to start hitting Venice. Well, it's not my problems, let's ask to prepare for war and declare. Also, once again, I want to warn you that sometimes Venice may ally France. It is quite rare, but it can happen. Well, in such case, you just need to wait for a good moment. If you can call in your allies, the war shouldn't be difficult. Also, by the way, another solution, if Venice allies someone strong, like France or Spain or whatever, just declare on one of its allies. It may ally Ottomans and it may ally Knights, so you can just fabricate claims, declare on them, make Venice non-co-belligerent and conquer whatever you need without angering European world. You don't need to follow next Venice, you just need a few provinces. Don't underestimate Serbia, it is quite powerful, and that's why having better militech is very important. Genoa and Venice have like 7th and I have 8th. That's why I easily destroyed them. Well, and also because of terrain. Anyway, let's peace out. From Venice you want all Balkan provinces. If possible, take these islands, if Ottomans haven't conquered them. Crete is very important, you need it for your missions. And if you have some more war score, take Istria and war operations. Although if you want to keep your Austrian alliance, you might not want to take Istria. Once again, it might break your alliance, it might not, depends on the AI. Anyway, now after you do this you would be able to finish out of missions, most likely. And by the way, you can conquer both Venice and Albania in the same war. Once again, depends on RNG. As your first achievability, if you still haven't conquered Croatia and it's still alive, take transfer subject and you can transfer Croatia for half the cost. If it's already too late, take justified wars. As for reform, take either cartel clerical privileges or maintain balance of power for one more diplomat. Here we go, we are next Bulgaria. Also one small advice, you can try to culture shift to Bulgarian culture, just state all Bulgarian lands and state all other. You need to get to 50% of Bulgarian culture in your stated provinces and get their government reform. Although to be honest, Serbian government reform is also very cool. Maybe Serbian despotate won't make you an empire, but minus 10 war score cost is a lot better than current capacity. But well, anyway, decide for yourself. It is a possibility. You might want to become Bulgarian Tsardom just because you won't become an empire until age of absolutism. Here it is, here are the requirements you need to have absolutism. Let's engage in last war against Ottomans. And let's buy some cannons. I forgot about them. Okay, let's peace out Shirvan, take war reparations, and Akuyunu. Although we need to wait for a little bit more. Okay, here it is. Let's take some war reparations. So from Ottomans you want to take all island provinces if possible, some center of trades in Constantinople, and you might take provinces of either Karaman, Jeremian, or Eretno. All three of them are quite good vessels for reconquest. It's not necessary, but if you want to you can, especially Karaman and Eretno. They are very good. Okay, let's release Eretno and Jeremian. Grant strong duchies once again, don't forget to do it, it's a very good privilege. And yes, that's why becoming an empire might be a good idea. Current capacity. Anyway, after you take Constantinople, you will be able to finish this mission and become, well, the third Rome. I would recommend to move your capital to Tsarigrad. Well, because first it's better trade node, second, better for RP, and also you won't need to convert it. Well, anyway, you should already have quite good income, run quite a big proficit, maybe even hire level 2, level 3 advisors, and you should own all of Balkans and be a great power. What next, you might ask? Well, next you might want to conquer Hungary, conquer Pest trade node, conquer Wallachia. But of course the priority should be Venetian trade node, if you're going to expand west. But of course it's better to expand east, because you already own all of Ragusa. Constantinople is your pseudo and trade node. Basically, no trade leaks out of Constantinople. That's why your priority should be expansion like Ottomans. So your priority should be to conquer eastwards. Aside from Anatolia and Palix, there are also some good realizables. Georgia, Syria, maybe Mushasha if it was conquered. And most likely Poland and Austria will break your alliance eventually. Maybe not now, but eventually they will. You will basically become the Ottomans 2.0. As for ideas, you might take both influence and diplomatic, administrative ideas are very good, and you may consider military ideas. Serbia is covering nation, well partially, so aristocratic might be good. Quantity might be good if you're running into some alliance block in Middle East, and offensive are good all around. Anyway, thank you for watching, hope you liked this video. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Have a good day.